So this is a reckless play. This is reckless. It's not. It is dangerous. There is no, and this angle makes it look even worse. It is dangerous. Like, Sid Colson is between her and the ball. Sid Colson is in fact between JC Sheldon and the ball, and she dives through her knee. It wasn't even called as a foul. It wasn't even called as a...
They jabbed the wrong superstar. One careless poke to Caitlin Clark's eye on June 17th lit a fuse that scorched the entire WNBA news cycle, triggered league office fines, and, ironically, catapulted the Indiana Fever straight into their first Commissioner's Cup final. Tonight, we're unraveling the chain reaction that started with an ankle twist in May, exploded into a mid-court wrestling match in June, and now hangs over a trophy showdown on July 1st. Buckle up, because every shove, whistle, and headline matters. But to understand why tempers finally boiled over, we need to rewind 3 weeks.
Championship bound, baby! Woo! Big club, baby! Woo! The year, man. It got a little crazy out there, but we made it through.
We're gonna keep stacking the day, so see you in the championship.
Bow, bow, bow! Let's go!
May 30th was supposed to be just another regular season grind, Fever versus Sun, both hunting seeding. Instead, it turned into a horror reel. Late in the second quarter, rookie guard JC Sheldon crashed full speed across Sydney Colson's planted leg, wrenching the veteran's knee. Minutes later, Sophie Cunningham tumbled after a similar collision, limping off with a sprained ankle and a chipped front tooth. The Fever lost 85-83 and, more painfully, lost 2 healthy guards. The box score called it aggressive play. Fever fans called it reckless. Back in the locker room, players iced limbs and replayed the hits on tablets. Any doubt about intent vanished when they saw Sheldon in both clips, diving, rolling, never whistled.
Talk about Sophie Cunningham. At the end of the game, JC Sheldon is going for a fast break layup and Sophie Cunningham is running. Let's see. Let's see what happens.
The word payback wasn't spoken aloud that night, but it hung in the air like the sting of antiseptic. Yet the roots of this feud stretched deeper than one bruising night. Long before WNBA contracts, Clark and Sheldon staged Big Ten shootouts that sold out college arenas. Clark lofted logo threes. Sheldon shadowed her every pivot, chirping the entire time. After one overtime thriller, an Iowa trainer swore he heard Clark mutter, "She lives rent-free in my jersey."
Her mortal enemy took out a player. JC Sheldon. Caitlin Clark's mortal enemy.
Fans loved it. Neither player forgot it. Fast forward to the pros. Same matchup, higher stakes, thinner whistle. Sheldon's calling card, face guarding full court, now carried real-world consequences. Clark's deep-range weaponry, once entertainment, became a ratings linchpin for the league. Each knew the other's habits, like song lyrics. Combine that history with the fresh bruise of May 30th, and the stage was set for combustion. So when June 17 rolled around, you could feel the voltage before the opening tip. Game night at Gamebridge Fieldhouse, Indianapolis. Clark was finally back after missing 3 games with a quad strain, and the Fever were riding momentum from an upset of the previously unbeaten Liberty.
In slow motion, here, JC Sheldon is guarding Caitlin, swipes her in the face.
Sheldon greeted her at half court during warm-ups, eyes locked. No smile. From the first possession, the physicality jumped a level. Shoulder bumps on off-ball cuts, hip checks, fighting through screens, subtle elbows the refs somehow labeled incidental. Head coach Stephanie White paced the sideline, already barking, "Watch the hands," at the officiating crew. Through 2 quarters, the scoreboard stayed tight, but something meaner fermented beneath every rebound scrum.
physicality for a second. 2 players on the Indiana Fever got injured last night by the same player on the Connecticut Sun, and that was JC Sheldon. And I tweeted about it. She was playing so reckless. I'm fine with players playing aggressive, but there is a thin line between playing aggressive and playing reckless. When you dive for a ball, you don't land on somebody's leg. She landed on top of Sydney Colson's leg, and her leg got stuck and literally twisted around. Both injuries, both Sydney Colson and Sophie Cunningham, were contact.
Clark drilled a 30-footer near the logo and released a glance, more ice than fire, toward Sheldon. The crowd roared. The Sun bench scowled. Everyone sensed a spark was coming. It arrived halfway through the third and landed straight in Clark's eye. Mid-third quarter, Clark backs Sheldon down from the top of the key. Sheldon swipes for the ball and instead spears her index finger into Clark's right eye. Clark's head snaps sideways. She staggers, blinking tears. Instinctively, she shoves Sheldon off. Whistles shriek. Fans howl. Replay on the Jumbotron loops the jab. Yet after a lengthy huddle, officials tag Clark with a technical for the shove while ruling Sheldon's poke a common foul. The arena erupts in disbelief. On the Fever bench, Cunningham stands, jaw clenched. White mouths 2 words, "Do better," toward the refs, later immortalized on social media GIFs. Clark wipes her eye, lines up on defense, and the game limps forward, momentarily. Because seconds later, someone hit Clark even harder. Connecticut's Marina Mabry, seeing Clark still blinking, decides to send a message. On a dead ball inbounds, Mabry barrels across the lane and shoulder checks Clark square in the chest. Clark topples backward, arms flailing. Gasps ripple through the lower bowl. Cameras catch Mabry jawing as Clark hits the hardwood. Officials review and issue another technical. Just a technical. No flagrant. No ejection. The crowd chants, "Throw her out." But play resumes. Online, highlight accounts light up. Is the WNBA protecting its stars or ignoring them? ESPN flashes the clip during halftime of the late West Coast game. Feeds explode. Indiana's patience snapped with 46 seconds left. Fever up 87-70. Clock bleeding out. Sheldon intercepts a lazy pass and sprints for a ceremonial layup until Sophie Cunningham, still taped from May 30th, tracks her down. 2 steps from the rim, Cunningham wraps Sheldon in a bear hug and hauls her to the floor, hard. The ball ricochets, bodies sprawl, chaos, benches empty but stop at mid-court as refs dive in. Flagrant 2 on Cunningham, automatic ejection. Sheldon and Lindsay Allen pick up technicals for the post-tackle scuffle and are also tossed. Gainbridge detonates. Fans chant, "Sophie, Sophie," while arena security escorts her down the tunnel, Cunningham pumping a fist to the crowd. Clark, now cleared by trainers, meets her teammate for a quick hug in the hallway. The message is plain. If officials won't protect Clark, her teammates will. Post-game, Cunningham offers 9 words to reporters. "You mess with one of us, you meet all of us." But the real shock came the next morning from league headquarters. On June 18th, the WNBA reviewed the film. Result? Mabry's technical upgraded to flagrant 2 with an automatic fine. Cunningham fined an undisclosed amount on top of her in-game flagrant. No suspensions. Fans on both sides call the discipline toothless, some for being too light, others for penalizing Cunningham at all. Yet, amid the controversy, the scoreboard still mattered. Indiana's 88-71 win clinched a 4-1 Commissioner's Cup record and the East berth in the July 1 final against the Minnesota Lynx. Natasha Howard's 16-point, 12-rebound double-double, her 50th career, slipped under the radar, overshadowed by the melee, but crucial to the standings. Clark used her post-game presser to pivot. "We're on to the cup. We'll play hard, not dirty, but nobody here is scared." Reporters counted 10 variations of the word physical in her 5-minute availability. The storyline was set, skill versus smash mouth, and whether the league can keep its biggest draw on the floor.
June 17 wasn't just revenge, it was a thesis statement. The Fever proved they're more than Clark's highlight factory. They're a unit that closes rank when elbows fly. Officials may hesitate, fines may arrive a day late, but loyalty shows up on time. So what happens when that loyalty meets a Lynx squad hunting its own repeat cup glory on July 1st? Does the bruising end? Or does the spotlight only sharpen the elbows? Drop your take below, predict the champion, and tell us whether the league needs stricter whistles or if this edge is exactly what women's hoops has been missing. Because if one thing is clear, it's this: nobody pokes the wrong superstar twice.